Hi guys, this is a follow-up review of the Tesla Model S after an additional 5 days of driving. So now I've had the car for about 15 days total, and I forgot to cover some of the features, so I want to quickly cover those here, plus a few more features on the wish list. So I forgot to mention last time that the back seats of the Model S can fold down completely. So as you can see here, the back seats fold pretty flat. It's not completely flat because there's probably a 3-inch rise where the seats are compared to the trunk. But for the most part, I think you can call this flat. Let's close the trunk. Let me go inside the car. So inside the car, I realized that I forgot to cover the start and stop procedure. When you get in the car, there are no buttons to press. There's not a start button or anything like that. So what you need to do is basically put your foot on the brake, and then you can see the icons come up, flash by. It starts chiming because I didn't wear my seatbelt. It's in place, and then you just go ahead and shift. You can shift it into reverse, drive, and so on. And then when you're done driving, let's say you arrived at your destination, to stop the car, basically you park it by clicking on the end of the shift stalk here, press on the end, and that's going to put the car in park, and then there's nothing else to do. You open the door and leave. The car automatically knows that you have left, and it's going to lock the car and turn off the climate control and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty straightforward. I also discovered that the right scroll wheel on the steering wheel, this one here, has a lot of functions. So as you drive, and if you turn this little scroll wheel, you'll see change between climate control, fan speed, display brightness, and media source. So when it's highlighted, if you click on it, you can then control your temperature pretty easily. And the thing is, you don't want to click again after you make the adjustment, because if you do, let's say if I turn on the fan, if I lower the fan, and then if I click on it, it's actually going to set it to auto mode. So if I click, it's going to set it to auto. But if I just want to have it remember my setting, I basically make the change and then just leave it alone. And then it's going to go away by itself after a couple of seconds, and that's how it remembers the setting. Display brightness, same thing. You can control how bright the display is. And then the last thing is, oops, let me go back to 60%. Okay. Then you can, under media source, you can select between all the different devices that you have. So I found this to be pretty useful during driving. You basically can keep your hands on the steering wheel without reaching to the touch screen here, and then find the app and kind of make those setting changes. Now, when the charging cable is plugged in, it's going to show you right here how many miles or how long it's going to take to charge. So it'll give you a pretty good idea of how long the charge is going to take right there. When you put the car into reverse, obviously you have the option of turning on, tilting the mirrors in the main screen here. And one thing I found is that you can actually set both mirrors to tilt when you shift in reverse. I know many of the cars that I've driven in the past can only shift the passenger side mirror, but in this car you can actually shift both. And you can set the angle that you prefer for the tilt to happen. The other thing is, one thing I noticed, in a prior video, I mentioned that I turned off my, driving. I turned off regenerative braking because I wanted to simulate the conventional car a little bit more. And then I played with the setting a little bit more, and I actually like the standard setting much more. Because what happens is, when you're driving, what I used to do is that when I let go of the accelerator pedal, I let go of it all of a sudden completely. And then I found out that in an electric car, it's actually better to let go, to ease off of it, instead of letting go completely all at one time. And then what this regenerative braking does is that it really slows the car down for you, almost like stepping on the brake a little, lightly. So if you're coasting on the highway and you see the traffic stopping, you let go of the accelerator pedal, the car will slow down quite a bit, to the point it's just like you're braking, but I think the benefit there is that one is obviously it's charging the battery. Two, it's really going to save you on the brake. So I don't know what the brake life is on a normal car, maybe 30,000, maybe 50,000 miles, and I do expect the brakes on this car to last a lot longer. Assuming that you drive in the same manner. If you drive really fast and you need emergency brakes all the time, then obviously that's not going to help you there. Another thing is that there's no emergency brakes on this car. There's no mechanical emergency brakes that you can step on or pull a handle, and that's engaged by going into controls, e-brake, and power off. So actually, I'm not sure where that is, but I think the Tesla person told me that by tapping on the end of the gear shift twice, is going to put the car into this emergency brake or the handbrake mode. One other thing I want to show you is this brake cruise control. The cruise control on this car is pretty cool. So let me see if it's going to show up. I'm going to put it in drive. You see, if I push this stalk in, you'll see a little white arrow appear here. Okay. So that means the cruise control is on. And if you set it by tilting it up or down, it's not going to let me do it right now because the car has to be traveling over 25 miles an hour in order for cruise control to work. But what it does is that this little arrow will move up to the point of wherever your set speed is. Now this little stalk here has 2 positions up and 2 positions down. The first position up and down will, if you just kind of tap on it like this, it's going to accelerate the car by 1 mile at a time. But if you tap it to the second position, okay, this is the first, that's the second position, then it's going to move the car by 5 miles at a rate of 1 mile per hour, or 1 mile per second. That's the speed that the car will accelerate up to 5 miles at a time. And then to turn it off, you kind of tap on this. And then you'll see this arrow will kind of move up or move down depending on your settings on the dashboard to show you where exactly your cruise speed is set at. So those are the additional features that I discovered with the car, after another 5 days or so of driving. I do have more things on my wish list. The first thing is that converting from my Infiniti FX50, the Infiniti had something called a round view camera. So basically, in the Infiniti, you can have, let's say if this is the camera view of the car, you have 4 cameras, front, 2 sides, and then also in the back to show you all of your surroundings around the car. That's a feature I really missed. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal when I used it, but now that I don't have it, I can't tell you. I mean, that's a really convenient feature. I wish Tesla can add it on soon. Also, the car doesn't have parking sensors. So even though it has a camera for if you shift it to reverse, it'll automatically switch on the rear camera. At least on this car with the tech package, it doesn't have parking sensors, and I don't believe that parking sensors come as an option that you can select with any Model S option packages. So when I'm so used to this round view camera, I feel like I have to be extra careful when I try to park the car because I don't know how much room in the front or in the back I have. So that's another feature I wish Tesla can add to their vehicles. And then another thing that I noticed is in the media, let's say if I'm in my iPhone, which is connected by Bluetooth, I'm gonna turn that off. Two things here. One is when whether it's an audio or a podcast or whatever that's playing, if there are foreign characters, for example, this particular podcast is in Chinese, the Chinese characters don't translate through. So, obviously, I guess Tesla doesn't use Unicode for character encoding. That's one thing I wish that, foreign characters could display properly on the screen. The other thing is the Bluetooth audio controls are limited to play, pause, and then next track and previous track. There's no indicator here of how far along you are, within the track, whether it's a podcast or a song, and you can't really scroll within the track. So if you want to move forward, fast forward a little bit in your song or podcast, you would have to do that. You have to pull out the phone and then do it there, and then that's the only way you can control it. Well, that's the only way that I discovered how to control it. If you know of another way, please post a comment under the video. I'd love to learn how to do that. Another thing is that while you're playing Bluetooth, if you stop the car, get out, and then come back, Bluetooth doesn't automatically start playing where you left off. You would have to select your device and then and hit play again. That's a little different from how my Infinity used to work. The Infinity, you get out, you come back, and then just pick up exactly where you left off. One thing I kind of wish Tesla could do is the seats in the Tesla are the seats are very thin. They're very slim, like contemporary looking, but they're very flat. There's not enough I guess it's called bolstering around the sides or around the seats themselves to kind of hold the driver in place. Especially when you're driving a little fast or you take tight turns, the seats definitely leave more to be desired. I wish that at least compared to the Infinity, the Infinity seats are a little more cushier and a little more tighter, kind of hugs you around the body. And then I also sat in a Porsche Cayenne, and those seats are definitely much better than what Tesla can offer. And I don't think Tesla allows any optional seats to be selected. So I hope that in the future they can add some additional seat options. One last thing, and this is purely related to my own driving behavior or driving pattern, is I wish that there's a setting, since the car, I figured it's all software controlled and it's all electronically controlled. I wish that you can set yourself a speed limit, because when you are, I know some of the new cars, like on my Infinity, the navigation knows the speed limit on each road. So when I go, I can tell what my speed limit is right from the screen here. On the Tesla, the navigation from Google Maps does not have that. And I also wish that, I can set a setting such as I can manually limit the car to drive no more than 10 miles over the speed limit, or no more than 15 miles over the speed limit or something. That will definitely help me personally reduce the number of speeding tickets I'm going to get. Because this car goes so fast and it gets there so quick. Sometimes I go over the speed limit by a wide margin without realizing it, and I haven't gotten a ticket yet, but sooner or later I think it's unavoidable. But if Tesla can, it's a software feature, allow the driver to set something like that, that would be awesome. So that's it for now. This is 15 days after the delivery of the Tesla Model S. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if I discover more features in the future, I will post additional videos. Thank you very much for watching.